Hello fellow humans! So good to see you again. It's been quite a while. The last sort of cooking vlog I did, I think, was back last July. I had a little bit of a mackerel salad outing at Christmas, and now I'm back in the kitchen. Obviously I've been in this kitchen the whole time, but I haven't been vlogging, and we've been having travel vlogs on this channel, which I absolutely love editing because I enjoy a travel vlog. Because if you have watched this channel before, a lot of my content was Weight Watcher content. I'm not currently doing Weight Watchers, however, since around the 20th of December, my beautiful husband has been doing Weight Watchers. So I have seen his app. I'm very impressed with the changes on the app and the new zero foods, and oh my gosh, how much am I loving that, where you just take a picture of your meal and it estimates your points. And just recently, just today, went on the recipe area to add a recipe that I wanted to make off another completely different website, and there's an import button. Now, how long has that been there? So I could import it from another website, put it straight into Weight Watchers. Yes, it was a little bit off. I just had to tweak a few things, but that's so much better than having to add everything individually. So very impressed with that. And for all those of you who are new to Weight Watchers and this channel, I used to do Weight Watchers early last year, so I'm very, very well up on how it works. But like I say, at the moment, currently, I'm not following it. However, a lot of our meals are Weight Watchers because I'm meal prepping for Paul, and also I am sort of eating the same sort of foods. At the moment, I'm really got a bit of a fitness bug since Christmas, trying to make sure that I'm getting 3 lots of weight training in a week and 3 lots of cardio a week. At the moment, I am starting just couch to 5k. My lungs know that I haven't done cardio for quite some time, and I was huffing and puffing, even running after a minute. So I've done that this morning, and actually I think I should have worn some more warmer clothes, because I don't know if you can see, but I've just got like a t-shirt and a thinnish jacket, and it's quite cold here still in the north of England, so maybe I should have worn something a little bit warmer. I've been on and off with my weight training since August last year, and yesterday, the last couple of weeks, I've just started to see a very small difference. So you will have been watching if you've been watching this channel, you'll have seen my travel vlogs. That was in October. And the difference, I think, between then and now, I can see that there's a difference. I'm very excited about it. I'll include a couple of progress pictures here. I feel like I want to sing a song about arms. All we're doing is looking at pictures of my arm. What do you think about that then? I'm really impressed. I know that it's not that significant, but it's very exciting for me. And I'm a top heavy person, so I am apple shaped. And I tend to carry a lot of weight around here, around here, around here, and my back. My legs are on the smaller side, and then I'm a lollipop shape. So yeah, I was quite impressed with that. I've never seen any sort of definition in my arms before. My legs are feeling hard when you touch them, hard with muscles. On to the cooking. I'm doing a little bit of meal prep. It's a Sunday, so I like to get some food prepared for the week. I've got that ready for me and Paul. We both work, so we need things to take to work, that meal prep and that travel well, and then our tea when we get home. If you're new to my channel, I am from the north of England, and we do say tea instead of dinner. I should try and say dinner really, but I'm so used to saying tea, and I think you're all probably quite used to it now if you've been watching a while. So today we're going to make a turkey tacos in a frying pan, wraps being fried and fried in the pan along with the turkey, the cheese, the vegetables, and that's made with minced turkey, and it's going to be a little bit fiery with some jalapenos. Then we're going to have some tuna fish cakes I'm going to take to work and have them with some red cabbage that I made earlier last week. Keep eking out this red cabbage. I made a pot, honestly, it must have been this big, and yeah, it's been going and going. I've had it for most meals and I love it. but I do keep thinking it must be getting towards its end now. I'm worried it's going to go off and I'm not going to realise and eat it. Finally, I'm going to make some mozzarella beef meatballs. Also, these are going to travel well to work. I'm going to have those just in like a tomato sauce at work, but then also can have them as a main meal with some pasta, maybe some vegetables, or they could even go in a sub. The possibilities are endless with a meatball. They're very versatile and they roll around, don't they? You know, they're rolling here, rolling there, they go in everything, roll them into a sub. Let's crack on. We've got 3 lots of things to make. I don't want my camera battery to die, so let's get going. We're going to start with the frying pan turkey tacos. This is a recipe that I have taken from the Weight Watchers app. They're under recipes, frying pan turkey tacos. I'm using a couple of different ingredients, but it's overall the same recipe. Turkey mince, which is 0 points. I've got a couple of tablespoons of jalapenos, 0 points. It does say 1 onion. I've got 3 very small onions. Small onions that fit in the palm of my hand. You can see now as well, I've put a jumper on. I'm absolutely frozen. It's getting cold. I've got 1 red pepper, 0 points. A tin of chopped tomatoes, 0. Some coriander. This coriander I had in the freezer. I bought it from Iceland and it is just chopped coriander and you can just take out as much as you need, which I thought is a really good idea. It's got an unusual texture though. Oh, it feels soft as a pillow. A little ramekin of peas, 0. And then we go on to our pointed things. So I'm going to use a couple of tablespoons of this fajita mix. Any sort of taco seasoning would be great. I've got 2 wholemeal Weight Watcher wraps. That's 5 points for 2. My very close friend, the cheese. This is Pilgrim's Choice lighter, so it's 30% lighter, so I've had to point a little bit extra for that than what was on the app originally because they used half fat cheddar at 8 points. However, I'm using 100 grams of the Pilgrim's Choice lighter and that is 12 points. Overall, this recipe serves 4 and it's 5 points per portion. After giving the pan a spray with the good old fry light, we pop our turkey into brown and then we're going to chop up our onion, our red onion, and we're going to de-seed and chop our red pepper. Both me and Paul really enjoyed this one. It did actually do 5 servings for us. I did take it to work, it travelled well, it was very tasty. Wraps used in place of tortilla chips was a great addition. Yeah, I wouldn't change anything about this recipe, really enjoyed it. Back to the pan to break up the large chunks of turkey and grate our 100 grams of cheddar cheese. Once the turkey is browned, we can add our peppers and our onions and let those fry off for 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I sprayed my baking tray with fry light and then chopped with the scissors my 2 Weight Watcher wraps into tortilla shapes, like tortilla chip shapes, into triangles, let's say. And I gave those another spray and then I popped those in the oven for 12 minutes just to crisp up. Next to the pan, I added the coriander and the peas and gave a stir through. And then I added my 2 tablespoons of fajita seasoning. This was enough fajita seasoning to coat the turkey and the vegetables. I again gave that another fry for another 6 or 7 minutes before adding the chopped tomatoes. Once the tomatoes had cooked down for another 5 minutes, you can see the sauce has thickened up a little bit here now, and I added the cheese to the top. The residual heat just melted the cheese onto the top, so we add the cheese and the jalapenos.
This was fantastic. You got such a big portion for 5 points too, and so tasty. One of the tortilla chips has escaped. Get back in that pan, tortilla chip.
Okay, on to our tuna fish cakes. Now these use tinned tuna. So we've got 2 tuna chunks in brine. I've got 75 grams of white flour. Now this is 8 points. So that's where a lot of your points are coming from. A 0-point egg. 100 millilitres of skim milk. 1 point. A teaspoon of chipotle paste. 0 points for a teaspoon. I'm using half a jar of artichoke hearts. Now these are marinated in oil. Drain them. It's 2 points for half a jar of the artichokes. So I'm definitely going to be using those. I love artichokes. I got into artichoke hearts because I did a lot of vegan recipes at one time. In fact, I did a little stint as a vegan, and you could make like fish cakes from artichoke. If you flavoured it with seaweed, things like that, had the same sort of texture. So I got really into them then. I think they'll especially go really nicely with the tuna. Now this recipe is based on the tuna and sweet corn fritters that are on the Weight Watchers app, but it's not quite the same. They're not using artichokes, they're using sweet corn. So we're going to go for the artichoke hearts today for 2 points. These fritters say they serve 4. Now I'm not sure if it's going to serve 4. I think they might end up serving 2. Just with the look of the amount of the ingredients. I mean, it's only 2 tins of tuna. So if it does serve 4, it's 3 points each for each portion. We'll see how we go when we've made them. And that is everything you're going to need, unfortunately, guys. I can't send through any of the red cabbage, but if I could, I would, because I've got plenty of it. But you can put it with anything you want. This tuna fish cake. Have whatever you fancy. Have a bit of salad. Maybe have a bun. If you want it on a bun, you could have a tuna fish burger. You can do what you want.
First off, we are going to season our flour. 100 grams of plain flour with salt and pepper. Then we are going to beat the egg with the 100 millilitres of skim milk, and then mix that into our dry flour. Once we've got our batter, we can put that aside, and then I'm going to drain half a jar of artichokes. Look at all that oil. I do give them a good press, trying to get most of the oil off and get it off my board as well. Just roughly chop the artichokes. Give it a good stir, and then in goes the tuna. Add the teaspoon of chipotle paste, and then you are good to go. So simple. Once the batter had had a stir, I sprayed my pan with Fry Light, and then I dolloped the mixture into the pan in fish cake shape, and these fried on this side for 5 minutes, and then I flipped them over. You can always flip them back again afterwards if they need a little bit extra browning. The texture of these fish cakes was like a Thai fish cake, and they would have been absolutely cracking. I didn't have any in, but they would have been the best dipped into some sweet chilli sauce. So if you do have some sweet chilli sauce, or you can whip some up, that is definitely recommended.
Okay, so we're on to the last food that I'm prepping today, the meatballs. Cheesy meatballs, yes. Addition of cheese, always a good thing. So I've gone for 750 grams of lean minced beef, that is 0 points. We'll be adding some seasoning into that. Garlic powder, some mixed herbs, an egg, 0 point. And then we're going to our pointed items. 3 tablespoons of breadcrumbs, dried breadcrumbs. You could probably leave them out, maybe add an additional egg. I've only got 1 egg. The recipe calls for breadcrumbs. I'm just going to use breadcrumbs and take the points. For 3 tablespoons, it is 6 points. However, this recipe does serve 6, so it's a point for your breadcrumbs. A mozzarella ball at 14 points, and 1.5 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, and that is 4 points. cheesy. So we're just gonna mix all these ingredients together. Apart from the mozzarella, I'm gonna form into 24 small meatballs, and then I'm gonna put a small chunk of mozzarella into each meatball, and then I'm gonna bake them in the oven.
To the minced beef, we're going to add our beaten egg. It's near enough everything in a bowl here. So we have got a tablespoon of garlic granules, a couple of teaspoons of mixed herbs. We've got our 3 tablespoons of our breadcrumbs, and we have the Parmesan cheese. We're going to mix all that together, give it a good season, and then we're going to form into our meatballs. I've lined my tray with foil to prevent any sticking, and also if there are any leakages, we've got the foil in place. So make them into the balls. I think we ended up in the end with 20 balls. I'm not 24, but I adjust the points at the end for that. Then we chop our mozzarella into small cubes, and we are going to push these inside each individual meatball. I did not need a full ball of mozzarella. You could do this with half a mozzarella ball would be sufficient. I had lots left.
The meatballs are well and truly stuffed, and they are going to go in the oven now. I think about 180. I'm not going to go any higher than that because I don't want all the cheese to explode. I've not made them before. It does say on the recipe to bake them for 20 minutes. So I'm going to check them after 22 minutes, but also you're going to turn them halfway. So I'll do that after 10 minutes. I'll give them a turn and then I'll bring them out. We're going to have this with probably some sort of homemade tomato sauce. For lunches, we're just going to have the cheesy meatballs and some other snacks to work, but just have the cheesy meatballs on their own. At night, probably put them with a pasta sauce, maybe a bit of pasta. Meatballs are 4 points per portion and they serve 6. So how many have I got here? Because I haven't quite got 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 20. I've got 20. They're probably going to be a point per meatball. Because the points, I didn't use all the mozzarella. It was 18 points overall for the whole recipe, and I've got all these, so I'm going to count them as 1 point per meatball. So if I have 4 meatballs, I'm going for 4 points. That just makes it dead easy then. However many meatballs Paul takes, I can just count his points to that. Right, these are going to go in the oven. I'll show you when they're cooked.
Here is the infamous red cabbage alongside the fish cakes, which have now cooled. I chopped them in half. I did take 3 fish cakes. That made this lunch 6 points. And I just packed them up. My Tupperware comes from Temu, if you were wondering. I get a lot of questions about that.
So the meatballs are out of the oven. I've just let them cool a little bit. You can see the cheese poking out of the lot of them. I'm not using them straight away, so I'm just going to pop them into the fridge. The turkey taco mix. Yummers. Thanks so much for watching this week, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.